As we continue to celebrate Canada's 150th year, we look to how Canadian culture has been impacted from sea to sky. Today we head to Petty Harbour, Newfoundland to talk to a father and son with different experiences from the sea, living before the collapse of the cod stocks and after. It's the most photographed town in Newfoundland and Labrador. Petty Harbour is a pretty fishing community of less than 1,000. The Chafe family landed here over 300 years ago.
The first place my great-great-great-grandfather stopped was right here, in this area, from here down to the building there. And then another crowd of weirs were next to us, and they all took their fishing places. Then they went and built houses wherever they might be, anywhere around the community. Now that's how they come here, in the 1700s.
4 brothers, 4 Chafe brothers, come from Devon, and that's where it all started. 2 married Anglican girls and 2 married Catholic girls. And we're fighting ever since.
Todd grew up helping his dad, George.
See, when I was in school, I used to come fishing every year, just help my father out, right? Caught a few tongues, and I made $100 a day. Like, I would say, grade 7, making $100 a day in the early ages. That was a lot of money. But I always loved it. Always. I still love it. There was a big difference back then, you know, hauling the cod trap, and then you haul up the doorways and caught the fish in, and the trap full of fish. And that's splashing the water up in your face and everything, nothing like it. Unreal. You lower down the dip net, you don't know if you're going to get a fish that big or that big. Great bit of excitement, especially for youngsters.
Yeah.
We're there with a gaff, then just gaffing in the big ones by the head.
When I was a young fella, very young, I learned it by going out to the cod traps from up here, grandfather and father, and from there I picked it up as I went. At them times you had to work a lot harder than you have to work today, because you'd done everything by hand. You had the paint boat, you had a bunch of men get together and get some round sticks and haul up boats, and then in the fall there you put the boats out, in the spring there you put the boats out again, back and forth. A lot of harder work, right? And notice how much fish you got, you never had any money, because you're tied down to a merchant. Different altogether today. You can make a dollar today, right? The people wouldn't be had today if they had to do what we had to do. There'd be nobody in the fishery.
All the old people here got bad backs from cod traps.
Yeah. All backs gone, yeah.
Because all with hands, see?
Muscles are gone.
Right, you grab a hold to it, and then all of a sudden the sea heave, then you're down like that. So you need to have a big haul to be able to get over it, put the pain out of your mind half the time.
Yeah.
I remember one time we had an old fella with us, jumping from the big boat to the speedboat to help dip the fish in, and he fell in the trap. And he went down here, he couldn't go no further, and he said, help me, I'm going to drown. I nearly died laughing at him. Where are you going? You couldn't go nowhere.
But by the mid-'80s, the Chafe family knew change was coming.
We started to know it then. We see the fish from that size going to that size. And when you start getting that fish, it's like the youngsters around. If the youngsters are gone, there's going to be no grown-ups. Well, that's the way the fish was. It went down, let take a...
One of the crew members only made $800 for 4 months at the codfish.
Yeah.
That's what fish they landed. $800 for 4 months fishing. That's what he made.
I'm not doing this because I think it's fun and games or whatever. I'm making a decision based on the desire to ensure that the northern cod survives as a species.
In 1992, the overfishing came to a head. In what is considered one of the biggest ecological disasters of the 20th century, the cod fishery collapsed. A government moratorium on all cod fishing forced 30,000 Newfoundlanders out of the only way they knew to make a living.
Everyone here in the community was ready to go fishing, right? And we had 2 brand new, what we call cod traps, brand new ones. We put out the gear, what we call the gear, that's the grapples and anchors and everything for the traps, right? And we had the 2 new traps on the wharf, and they called the moratorium, so we had to go out and take the gear back in again. That's what we're to. And we took the new traps, dried them because of the rain and everything, put them right back in the shade.
But George found a new way.
The fishermen made more money after the moratorium than they ever made in their lifetime, because always one of the fellows was on a committee. There's 3 or 4 of us got together and got on a committee and argued with the government, the federal government, to give us some crab. That'll help us through the moratorium. And that's what they done, and that's how we got the crab. We wouldn't take no for an answer. And they made more money at the crab than they've ever made in Newfoundland before, and the fishery.
Todd took the idea of farm to table to a new level, opening a coffee shop that served more than just coffee on the harbour with his wife Angela.
Now, saying, won't we open up like a little coffee shop down the harbour? There's nothing down there. Now, there's lots of tourism, barrels of tourists coming. So we'll make it do all right. Well, shag it, try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I used to catch the crab, clean it for, and then at that time was big in crab sandwiches.
Hello?
At that time we were selling crab sandwiches for $3.99. People used to always say, that's got to be artificial. Heck, no way, that's real crab. We wouldn't put the price up because we used to say nobody's going to pay $8 or $9 for a crab sandwich. You got to be cracked to pay $8 or $9 for a crab sandwich.
Those $4 crab sandwiches paved the way to a new restaurant called Chafe's Landing, one of the most successful spots in all of Newfoundland.
You can't get any fresher. And I don't believe, and my wife don't believe in cooking stuff early in the morning. You want fish and chips and it'll be cooked. Oh, people say, oh, I gotta wait. It's just cooked for you. It's only swimming 20 minutes ago. It'll be cooked for you.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a line up there. Some days in June, July and August, it's 2.5, 3 hours to get in there. And that many people told us we're nuts. Open a restaurant in Petty Harbour, you'll never succeed. 11 years later, we're still going. Stronger now than ever.
How are you?
All right, how are you?
Great.
Good.
A fishing family making plans in times of uncertainty.
If fellas don't take the opportunity, if they didn't learn nothing from '92, they'll never learn nothing. Because if you don't have a business on the go now at this, there's something wrong. Because then if it has a bad year, you're not waiting for a handout from government, or you're not starving yourself to death or having to go to work somewhere else.
Fueled by a passion as deep as the ocean they fish in, a passion that still burns as bright today as it did hundreds of years ago.
I look forward to getting up in the mornings now. I'm not even headed and see if anyone's gone out fishing.
There's nothing else like it. It's just, well, either he likes it or you hate it.
That's
There's
it.
no in between.
Yeah.
The day that I hate to get out of bed to go out on the boat is the day that I retires.
Tomorrow we head to Gander, Newfoundland to take a tour of one of history's most iconic airports.